Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you, and I'm not gonna lie, this build started with a different idea than what we ended up with. I decided that I kind of wanted to attempt making like a small home, like that the game says is a small home so you get perks. But for 8 Sims, yeah, I didn't do that. I literally I literally drew out the house and then I thought, no, I don't feel like it. Today's not the day. Today's not the day for me to try this. So instead we just have a cozy, small family home, and I am in love with how it came out. And I'm not gonna lie, we are randomly going to change lots in a minute. Well, I guess once I'm done kind of with the outside facade, because then I was looking and I was like, this house is so small on the slot. I think this is a 40 by 30, maybe? I don't know. It's one of the one of the ones in Newcrest, and it was just too much. So I actually ended up moving it to Willow Creek because I thought that'd be really cute. I don't know why I always think about Willow Creek is this like really cute family, neighborhood. But anyway, so I move it there to, I believe it was a 20 by 15 lot. And honestly, it looks so much better. Like it makes so much more sense because this ends up being only 64 tiles. So it is actually pretty small, and I make it a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. And I'm thinking it's maybe 2 parents and then a teen. And so here's also the interesting part. I feel like I'm ahead of myself, but I end up making the teen room, I figured, I don't know, maybe they're into cheerleading or something, because I have pom-poms on the wall when I was decorating. And when I go to try to actually put one of those cheerleading mats in the backyard, the ground ate it. And I know that sounds so crazy, but you'll see me mess with it way towards the end of the video. But I've had that happen a few times recently. Has anybody else had that issue where I try to place something and the ground says no? the ground's completely flat, but for some reason it just gobbles up the item. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if that's something that you've had an issue with, or I don't know, I've done something weird to my game, but I end up not using it. So again, I'm way ahead of myself, but I just thought about it and it was just so funny to me that I was like, okay, well, I guess we won't have a cheerleading mat because literally the ground won't let me. So if you decide to download it, of course, feel free to try to add it if you would like to. Hopefully your game is not doing the same thing mine is doing. And this is already up on the Sims 4 gallery if you want to download it under my ID, spicensprinkles, all one word, all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. And I decided that I wanted to make this interesting built-in situation on the wall here in the living room. And I found those bookcases. I believe those are from Cats and Dogs, and I love them so much. I don't know why, they just felt like they belonged in this house. So that's what we end up doing. I combine it with the kitchen cabinets. I think they're base game, and I know that the swatch is just a little bit off, but I decided that it was cute enough to keep. So if you download it and it really bugs you, feel free to swap out those pieces. But I just really liked the way it looked, and I had originally tried the Book Nook bookcases to kind of add to it, and I don't know, it just didn't feel quite right. And so we ended up going with this really cozy vibe in here. And I have the flower wallpaper in what will be the parents' bedroom right now. I do swap that out as well, because originally I was thinking that was the aesthetic, the route I was going with, but I changed my mind. Shocker, I changed my mind. I ended up finding this rug and I said, well, this is it now. We're doing this now. And I know I say that all the time, I find a rug, I find a swatch of something, and I'm like, well, this is it. This is now determined my whole build. And anyways, you should be used to it by now if you've been around for a little while. I feel like I say that all the time. I'm like, oh, I had this idea and then I totally changed it. But anyways, so we're putting in a cute little dining set here for 3 Sims, because I figured that's how many Sims you could have in this house. So it kind of makes sense. But I do end up using a larger table out on the back patio area, so you can still have Sims over and all that kind of stuff and still have room to hang out with them. And I don't end up putting a pool in the backyard or anything like that. I feel like I've been using pools lately, but I opted not to for this one because I don't know, I just didn't feel like this was it, you know what I mean? And so I ended up actually using this really pretty pinky maroony kind of color on the wall for these tiles, and they look so pretty, and I thought it looked so nice with the carpet as well, and with those lovely green cabinets. And I don't know, I just thought it all blended together really nicely. So your Sims can cook on the corner counter. I like to say that in case you've not seen that before or seen my other builds when I've done that. Your Sim can cook on that. So you shouldn't have any issues. This has been play tested. So again, like I didn't have any issues in my game. So hopefully like the Sims doesn't decide to give you a hard time if you decide to download it. And I end up adding like the towel to the side of the cabinet there, and I've been doing that more often. I just really like the look of it, and like I don't know, it seems like I don't know why I want to say that feels realistic. Like I've never had a towel like that, but I feel like I've seen it. Does that make sense? Maybe it's one of those things like you see on TV or in sitcoms. It's not actually realistic, but that's like what my brain was thinking. I don't know. Let me know. I also have paper towels on there too, and like I don't know, I sometimes I feel like it's redundant to have both. I don't know why. I guess maybe because it's just clutter in The Sims, and like because in my house I have both. Like I have a hand towel and stuff by my sink in the kitchen, and I also have paper towels. So I don't know, like in real life I feel like it's not redundant, but in The Sims it just feels like it is. I don't know, let me know, do you use one or both, or in real life or in like your builds? If you build, just like let me know, because I am like genuinely curious, because I do feel like the way people like live in their houses varies so much, and just based on like the house you grew up in and that kind of thing can greatly change like how you perceive the way like whether you should or shouldn't use paper towels or whatever. So I don't know, I feel like I'm going on a big tangent about that, but anyways, I just find that kind of interesting. And then just adding in a little bit of clutter around here, shocker, you know, I really like to. And then we end up in the parents' bedroom, swapping over to this really pretty like peachy pink kind of wallpaper that matches like what's out in the hallway and in the living space. It's the same wallpaper, just a different swatch. And I cannot remember for the life of me where this bed is from, but I thought that looked so pretty with like the floral aspect on the comforter. I feel like it definitely matched the like living room aesthetic. So I ended up going with that. I don't think I've ever used that swatch before, and I do end up using the end tables. I believe those are from Snowy Escape. And yes, they are pushed into the wall a little bit. They are technically a little bit bigger than that, but you can't see it, and your sim can use the bed and all that kind of good stuff. But honestly, we need smaller end tables. I know I say that all the time, and I'm sure like every like builder has probably said this at some point, but it just bugs me so much that we don't have smaller end tables. You know what I mean? Because like that's realistic. Like I feel like the items like that they put in the game, because like I've seen like estimations of like 1 square in The Sims is, depending on where you look, like 2.5 or 3 feet. So to me, that's like huge. So if you have a nightstand taking up a whole square, that could be like a 2.5 or 3 foot square. Like that's so big. Like, I don't know. Like at least I don't have end tables that big. Like I don't know. I just feel like that's excessive and really large. And I think that's why it just feels so big in the game. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel quite proportional. Like, I don't know. Anyways, let me know. Like if I'm just crazy and I just use small end tables and like, so that's just my perspective on life. But I don't know. I feel like thinking about it that way, that's really big. And I've never really thought about it that way before, but now I am. And now I'm just like, why? Why are they like this? Anyway, so in the bathroom here, I do end up using a shower tub combo. So you can also, like, if you decide to have like a toddler, or if you have a dog or something like that, like in this home, you could still like bathe them and all of that kind of good stuff. And then just adding a little bit of clutter around here. And I end up putting a little magazine rack in there, which I thought was kind of funny. Like, I feel like, again, that's something that I've seen before. So, and I've never done it though. And I just thought that was really cute, because I felt like that area was really empty, but you need to kind of keep it open in order for your Sims to be able to get to the bathtub. So anyways, I just thought that was really funny to kind of put in there. And in this teen's bedroom, if you watched my home bakery video, I talked about combining a bed and like a bookcase before. And it just felt really weird to do that with a toddler bed. So that's what I was thinking when I was doing this. I was like, let me try to do that. And I actually really love this bookcase. I think this came with the toddler stuff. Don't quote me. I think that's the pack it came with. I believe it was a stuff pack. And I just thought it was so pretty. Like, and so I wanted to use that, and it had like the matching bed, and the bed has like, it to me looks like a really, really soft, like beigey, peachy kind of stripes on it. So I tried to bring those colors out in the wallpaper and the other aspects of this room, and a little bit kind of in the funky carpet. And I love the floral wallpaper. I just thought it looked so cute in here. And honestly, even though this is a smaller room, I ended up like adding like a bunch of clutter in here. And I wasn't sure if it was a kid or a teen, but I think I've landed on, I was thinking teen when I did this. So I've got a lot of like clutter around here. Like we've got like the CDs, different like boxes, jewelry, makeup, like all, like I feel like just a bunch of stuff. I don't know why in my brain teenagers just have a bunch of items, like just a bunch of things, like, and so I put a bunch of clutter in here, and this is where I end up putting in like the pom-poms. I'm thinking like, I don't know, maybe this sim is into that, but like I said, if you want to add the cheerleading mat, like feel free to do so. It may need to go in the front yard kind of thing. I don't know if it's glitching, but I've had a couple lots do that, so hopefully that doesn't actually affect you and that's not an issue, but I don't know. And I will say, like, technically there was a spot for me to put it in the backyard, like one singular location. And I didn't like it, so I took it out. And again, that's me as a builder being like, I wanted this to be really aesthetically pleasing, you know what I mean? Which I know that like when you actually play, at least when when I play, I just like put stuff places. Like, oh, my Sims need this item, or they just had an infant, I need to put the little play mat thing out. Like, yep, right in the middle of the living room, that'll work. You know what I mean? You just kind of put things places. So obviously when you actually play with it, you can like put it in the front yard or wherever, you know, you want to place it. And we end up kind of adding in a cute little stone path here in the front, and I do end up putting in a tree and a little bit of vegetation. I tried not to do too much, like but I did. I put a decent amount. I mean, I really did. I try. I feel like I always want to not put so much stuff, but I end up doing it anyways. So here we are. But I stuck with mostly just greenery and a little bit of like a few white flowers to kind of accent the like white trim that's on the house. And I think it turned out really nice. And it was actually so funny when I was doing the front yard. I don't know what it was, but the front door just seemed so empty. Like, it just seemed like I tried to end up placing like a flower pot there or something to try to make it look more filled in, you know what I mean? And when I went to the backyard, I realized I didn't put a doormat. I did not put a doormat. So I put one there, and you know what? I think it looks so much better. So I guess like it didn't even occur to me that I didn't put one, and like it was like I use them so often that my brain was like, this doesn't look quite right, but I do end up putting one back there, like, because I realized it when I was doing the backyard that, oh my gosh, that's what it was missing. So we end up putting that. I put a grill out here and a lovely place to sit, and I end up putting this like cardboard box out by the trash because I just thought that was, I've never done that before, but to me is realistic. Like, I don't know, at least I get like a lot of Amazon boxes and like things to unpack, and then you have a bunch of cardboard, and I don't know, for some people you might leave it by like the trash can kind of thing. Like, we have to put it in ours, like depending on where you live. I know they have different like rules about that kind of stuff, but anyways, like, or you recycle, like whatever. I just thought it was like interesting that it's, you know, putting it by the trash can, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like these days, if you do get a lot of packages, like you end up just with a bunch of cardboard. And I feel like I'm at that point in my life where I'm like, that's a good cardboard box. Like, should we keep it? No, the answer is no. Don't keep the cardboard box. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need any more. And again, this is totally random, but that's like what I'm thinking about. And so back here, I also end up putting a yoga mat, and I also put in a chess table for your Sims to like, you know, do some skills. And I also actually end up adding an easel over in the corner because I felt like it was empty and like I needed to add something. So we end up having an easel, and you can see I'm about to try to put this in there and it's just disappearing. Like, I don't know what was happening. Like, why? So I end up just getting rid of it. And so they have a yoga mat so they can, you know, be like, do some like wellness athletic kind of stuff. And I put like a soccer ball in the backyard kind of thing. So I don't know, maybe the sim is into a lot of athletic things, including cheerleading. But anyways, like, I hope it works for you, and if you want to put that in there, I don't know what's going on with it, but if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.